Hello and welcome back. I know it's been a little while, but today's a special occasion. You see, we're celebrating the fact that this channel has hit over, 250 subscribers? We're almost at 300. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for subscribing and watching. I really do appreciate it. And today's going to be a special event. Normally I just show up on a camera and I rant about kids or something or other. But today's going to be different. We're actually going to be doing a movie review today. You see, a couple videos back, it was a minor update, I think. I asked if there were any requests or suggestions, and the one single request or suggestion I got was some of the worst movies I've ever seen and what they were. So, yeah, that's what this is. And the thing is, I'm going to do something a little bit different, though. I'm not going to do the worst movies I've ever seen. Maybe I'll do that later. Mainly because the worst movies I've ever seen have been done to death. So I don't really have anything new to say about those yet, but maybe if this works out, then I'll take a look at those at some point. But yeah, so the movie in question is going to be a German crime thriller called Antibodies. Think a really jacked up version of Silence of the Lambs. And I saw this on Netflix a few years ago, and the reason I picked this is because it's not really that bad of a movie, except for the message and the very end of the movie. And I'll show you why, but let me tell you my experience. I liked it, and then by the time I got to the end, I hated it. So we're going to explore this. Oh, also, this movie is so messed up in so many ways. Germany doesn't fuck around when it comes to using adult material or anything of the like. So, trigger warnings, this movie includes
animal abuse, blood, violence, child murder, pornography, underage sexuality, sexual abuse and violence, Catholicism.
Good. Now that you're all acquainted with what this movie is going to be like, let's take a look at Antibodies.
The film begins with a quote saying, "If there is no God, then everything is allowed," by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I think I pronounced that right. The beginning narration is one Gabriel Engel, played by Andre Hennig, a serial killer who is busy painting and complaining about other serial killers. Also, I'm going to apologize in advance because almost everyone in this movie has a German name and I don't speak German. So, forgive me, but I'm going to butcher everything that comes my way. The police are called when a neighbor hears screaming from his apartment, and we learn that Engel is painting with his victim's blood. Well, looks like we're starting off with a bang. A shootout begins and Engel, son of a bitch, is quickly surrounded and naked. Engel gets his Rambo on and becomes Neo from the Matrix and makes his escape. Gracefully. Gabriel is caught by Commissioner Seiler, played by Hans Hoidnig, and pleads innocence.
You know, I'm beginning to think this movie may have been a mistake. I could have just done Boss Baby. That one's fun. And it's about child-free shit. I should have just done Boss Baby.
At the same time, Norman Reedus, yes, that Norman Reedus, is Officer Schmitz, who discovers the blood belongs to a young boy who dies before his very eyes. We then cut to Michael Martins, played by this person, who wakes up early to find his teenage son, Kristen, going through his family's laundry. I think.
Was soll das?
Das war bestimmt das letzte Mal.
Sieh zu, dass du fertig bist, bevor deine Mutter wach wird.
How dare he?
And then goes hunting with his father-in-law.
Du bist also und denkst, es gibt nichts Böses auf der Welt.
That's a reasonable thing to say about a deer, and a good indicator of his perfectly fine mental health.
Michael is scolded for treating his wife badly, and we find out that he also wants to test everyone's saliva in town for a murder 1.5 years ago, the victim being a young girl named Lucia Fleider. The father-in-law responds in a healthy manner, murdering Michael's dog.
In-laws, am I right?
Seiler has Engel under arrest in a hospital where Engel refuses to speak unless he gets a notebook and crayons. More on that later. Meanwhile, Michael hears news about Engel, and while everyone believes that he's guilty, Michael still has his doubts.
Es ist erst zu Ende, wenn seine Schuld zweifelsfrei feststeht.
These are their stories.
Engel begins to discuss his past murders, including his first, where he kidnapped a boy, knocked him out, raped him, cut his legs open, and stuck his
Okay, Christ! Germany! I get it, you're all kinds of fucked up, but tone it down a little bit. What are you gonna have him do next? Jerk off to the memory? This was a mistake. This was a mistake. This was a huge mistake. This was a mistake. This was a mistake.
Back at Michael's house, we learn that Kristen is getting in trouble at school by flashing his junk at girls for no reason. We also learn that Kristen was friends with the murdered girl, and his parents believe that he's suffering because of it. Also, that Michael should hug his son occasionally. You know, the whole "my daddy never hugged me" trope. What could possibly go wrong from not hugging your son? Oh, that's what could go wrong.
Ich werde dich nicht aus den Augen lassen. Du wirst nicht den Bach untergehen.
Won't let him go astray? He almost burned your daughter alive, dude. Get him a fucking therapist. But things get worse after church when another girl named Tamara goes missing.
No, not that one. But, Tamara, if you are watching, let's hang out. We can talk about child murder and stuff.
The search for Tamara leads to the whole town finding them in a secluded treehouse playing cowboys and Indians with bondage?
Raus! Raus!
Am I gonna be on an FBI list after saying that?
Due to difficulties at home, Michael calls Siler and wants to work in the city to ease his mind and give the town some peace. Michael arrives to learn that Engel has admitted to 14 murders, almost all of them children, and that he was in the area when Lucia was murdered that time ago. And that Engel has only admitted to killing boys, shedding more doubt on his involvement in Lucia's death. As Michael heads in, Siler mentions the holy trinity of serial killers.
Das sind die großen gemeinsamen Jugenderlebnisse von denen. Wenn du dich nervös machen will, dann denk einfach, er ist ein Bettnässer.
Where have we seen some of these traits before, I wonder?
We see Engel, despite his rage, still stuck in a cage and refusing to talk. Who does this guy think he is, Hannibal Lecter?
Wen hast du erwartet, Hannibal Lecter?
You cheeky bitch!
But it turns out Engel will only talk to Michael, and they begin to play Hannibal Lecter-esque mind games with each other. Engel asking if Michael is good, admitting to murders, denying his involvement in Lucia's murder, but knowing the gruesome details of the crime, and claiming that Michael is just as monstrous as he is in different ways. But the most important part being that Michael never truly believed that Engel was the killer.
Komm schon, du hast nie geglaubt, dass ich die Kleine flach gemacht habe. Mag sein. Aber jetzt glaube ich's. Ich kann deine Fragen beantworten, Michael. Ich weiß, wer es getan hat.
No, it wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
Schwachsinn.
After that encounter, Michael hangs out at a mall and creepily stares at a store employee while replaying the events a few hours prior. Some not-so-subtle symbolism plays out with the lady in red tempting Michael to try out suits while flirting with him hard.
Sie sonst noch irgendwie glücklich machen?
Siler meets with Michael at a brothel to conduct business. I guess it's a German thing. And Michael calls home to tell his wife that he's going to be in town longer than he originally thought. Kristen overhears and runs to the gun safe, which never comes up again. And we cut back to Michael resisting a prostitute. Yeah, Michael, you show that woman trying to make a living. The next day, Michael heads back to Engel for more mind games. Engel dominates the interrogation, however, learning his cell is bugged, finds out about Kristen, and plants seeds of injustice since his sickening crimes are going to be punished with medical care, food, books, and television. Michael completely botches the interrogation and gets thrown off the case, but Siler helps Michael break into Engel's apartment to find more evidence. Semen-stained girls' panties.
Okay, after saying that out loud, I am definitely on an FBI list somewhere.
Easy there, buddy. Brimming with pride and confidence, the farmer celebrates the only way he knows how. Porn. No, religion. Porn? Nah, religion.
Rock me, sexy Jesus, all night long.
Michael decides the best course of action is to stalk the sales girl from earlier.
I don't like where this is going.
Und ich war aufgekratzt. Das wollte ich mit jemandem teilen.
Stop!
Und ich musste immer an sie denken.
Stop!
And they bang.
Noise. Noise. Noise.
Seriously, they just bang. They do things that I can't show you at all. Face sitting, blowjobs. He calls her a slut like 5 times, and then he puts it right up the butt.
And I'm gonna need you to put him way up inside your butthole, Morty.
My butt.
What happened to loving your wife? What happened to being faithful? What happened to not committing freaking adultery? They're trying to go with the whole evil is infectious excuse here, but Michael has talked to Engel for a total of 10 minutes. If that's the case for corruption, our police force would be a roving gang of Vikings after a week. Michael must have the moral backbone of a chocolate eclair if he's willing to fuck up his marriage and faith that quickly. That's like burning down churches because you watched a single Bard Vickerness video for 5 minutes.
So, how do you like your cornflakes? You know, do you like them crispy or you like them soft?
Michael finally heads back home with his wife sitting next to him. Douchebag. Only to find that his other dog is wounded, resulting in him putting it out of its misery. It's believed that Kristen may be responsible, putting more stress on Michael.
Gesagt habe, wie all die Verbrecher so böse Sachen machen können.
Ja, das ist was Kleines.
Warum die 14 unschuldige Kinder befallen und quälen und foltern? Warum nicht Leid und Schmerz und Qual über sie bringen und ihre Mütter und Väter und Brüder und
Ich
Schwestern?
wollte Aaron nur helfen, glaubst du mir nicht?
You okay?
Nah, man. I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
Seiler and other officers come to the farm to tell Michael that, yes, Engel's DNA was in the underwear, but so was someone else's, leading back to the theory that someone from Hertzburg, his hometown, committed the crime. Everyone in town gives a saliva test except for his father-in-law. You know, the guy who murdered his dog.
Es frisst und bohrt sich in die Eingeweide. Das geht vielleicht dir so. Aber mir nicht.
This can only end well.
Despite the issues with Engel and the townspeople, he's at least able to spend some quality lovemaking time with his wife.
You know, I know I gave him a lot of shit for this, but maybe I was wrong. I mean, really think about it. He's been through a lot. He's been through some traumatizing stuff. He's been dealing with his son. He's been dealing with, you know, one of the most sick people imaginable. He's been dealing with a murder that still doesn't have any answers. I mean, maybe I was a little quick to judge. Michael, I fucking hate you. How in the fuck is this our protagonist? How is this our good guy? How is this our upstanding citizen? How is this our holy man? Michael's a piece of shit, okay? There is no excuse. There is no, I caught a case of the abuse my spouse bullshit. You are a piece of shit, and I fucking hate you right now, okay? I feel like I like the child killer more than I like you right now, okay? A child killer is better than you right now, okay? Because at least he is honest about what he is. At least he knows what he is and sticks with it. He's not trying to be a good guy and fucking it up every single time he turns around. Fuck you.
After being an abusive piece of shit, Michael decides to confess at church to the pride, the impure thoughts, although admittedly that one is bullshit, cheating on and hurting his wife. His punishment? Saying about 15 prayers. But that doesn't sit right with him, so he takes justice into his own hands by praying while putting staples through his arm.
Boy, he doesn't seem mentally stable now, does he?
Michael soon gets a phone call from Seiler saying that the test results are in. The town proves centuries of incest.
Surprise, surprise.
And are all negative. Michael, drunk on vengeance and finding answers, confronts Daddy Dearest. A confrontation goes down where Dad ridicules and belittles Michael until he's pushed down and is accused of murdering the girl until we learn
That's impotent.
Siler picks up Michael yet again due to Engel getting his hands on some poison that will kill him in 48 hours, so they need answers, and fast. More mind games take place, with Engel going on a rant about God creating all evil.
Gott selbst hat es erschaffen.
Well, technically he's not wrong.
And bringing up Michael being tested by Engel himself.
Ich werde dich prüfen. Virus, absolut ansteckend, absolut vernichtend. Du bist schon infiziert.
Ich werde jetzt einfach gehen.
Siler and Michael learn that not only did the poison get in, but Engel's big red murderous manifesto get out, making the situation even worse. Michael confronts Engel, where we finally learn who really killed Lucia, according to a dying psychotic child killer.
Admittedly not the most reliable person to listen to.
After stalking Kristen, he watches the boy drink the blood of a lamb, get to first base with Lucia, then stab her when she freaks out. That's right, the perverted pyromaniac is a possible serial killer in the making. Of course, Michael believes him.
Idiot.
And responds as any mature, responsible police officer would. Choking the fuck out of him. Siler tries to get some answers out of Engel, but,
Wo ist dein Buch?
Oh my god. Did the child killer just become my favorite character? Oh, this feels so wrong.
Wo ist es?
Das ist mein böser Schatz. Mein böser Schatz.
No, never mind. It's right. It's so right.
Siler soon learns that some bribery went down while Michael is in church getting a sermon about Abraham and Isaac.
Den du lieb hast, und gehe hin in das Land Moria und opfere ihn daselbst zum Brandopfer auf einem Berge, den...
No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No. No.
Siler calls Michael to inform him that the second DNA test comes in and is a 99% match. That DNA belonging to... Kristen!
Ta-da!
Well, with that sort of evidence, we can expect Michael to turn him in, right? Nope! Instead, Kristen is given a gun of his choice, admittedly a pretty cool gift, and is taken on a hunting trip the next morning.
What could possibly go wrong?
Meanwhile, Siler learns that chubby camera operator guy took Engel's bribe, brought in poison, and smuggled out the memoirs. Also, Engel is dead. While Michael prays and thinks of a sermon about Abraham and Isaac, Siler finds Engel's manifesto and learns what really happened to Lucia Fleiter. This entire plot was a scheme to corrupt an upstanding man, Michael, yes, the same Michael who did this and this, into being just as evil as he is. It turns out that Lucia and Kristen were curious that night.
No, not for the children! Not for the children!
And Kristen's DNA ended up on the ground. Engel just took advantage of that fact. Siler rushes in to save the day. While Michael is about to win Father of the Year award.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
Michael attempts to do the right thing and murder the shit out of his own son. But completely pusses out. Maybe Michael realized that murdering his own son wasn't the answer. Oh shit, never mind. With gun in hand, Michael gets to the final confrontation with his own son.
Warst du bei ihr? Ich? Vater, ich wollte es dir die ganze Zeit erzählen. Aber ich habe mich so geschämt. Ich dachte, niemand wird's verstehen.
Schon gut. Ich verstehe.
Keine Lügen. Kein Jagdunfall.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Alle sollen's wissen. Alle. Da rief ihm der Engel des Herrn vom Himmel und sprach: Abraham. Hier bin ich. Hier bin ich. Hier bin ich!
Okay. I need to be real for a second here. I want you to think about all the horrible, heinous, evil things that have happened in this movie so far, both on and off screen. The child killings, the rape, the torture, the abuse, the affairs, all of it, just all of this heinous stuff. And I want you to think to the build-up. And I want you to think, okay, this is the climax of the movie. This is where answers are going to come into play, and this is where maybe that religion thing pays off. Maybe we get some moral answers. And I want you to just watch how this resolves.
That was, without a doubt, the absolute worst Deus Ex Machina I have ever seen in my life. Oh, you want to know what happens next? They ride out as friends, everyone's united, Engel is still dead. There's like literally 30 seconds of them reuniting, and Siler like holds up the book, bam, credits. Okay, we're done.
You mean to tell me that after everything we've been through, after every self-righteous speech we've gotten so far, that the days saved by poorly rendered PlayStation 2 deer, what the fuck was that? What possible reasoning is there for this? How does this explain anything? You mean to tell me that after we've been told time and time and time and time again that throughout this movie, 14 children were brutally raped, tortured, and murdered, God decides to save one from his father killing him, and he does this via a family of shitty deer. What the fuck was that? And I think the morals, and that whole thing with all these other dead people don't matter, but God finally fucking shows up at the last possible second to save this one asshole's kid. And let's be honest, Michael's a fucking cunt, okay? He's awful. I hate him. He has not been a good character at all. His morals are all over the place. And apparently God dear just saved the day. No. You mean to tell me... Where was God? Where was God when those other kids were dying? Was he busy ignoring starving African children? Was he busy ignoring the children that are in sex trafficking all over the world right now? Maybe he was using those children to set up another Bible story for Michael's bullshit. Maybe? You know what? I know I said it wasn't that bad, and I think that's true. As a film, It's not that bad. But when you really stop to think about the message, it's bullshit and it makes no fucking sense. There are no morals here. It is garbage. The only way I can possibly let this slide is if I do insane mental gymnastics and try to make it so that this movie is purposefully trying to tell us that religious morality can be so back-asswards that it doesn't make any sense. And if that's the case, job well done, because I have no idea what message this was. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. If you like this, share this with your friends. So you can massage my ego. And hey, if there's another movie that you want me to take a look at, if you actually like this sort of thing, then by all means, let me know in the comment section. I'll see if I can take a look at it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And don't be a dick. And also, I need to show this one last time. Alright, take care.